Hey everyone, Star Wars Jedi is officially happening, and it's not just a rumor, not just a hopeful speculation from fans, it's real. It's in active development right now at Respawn Entertainment, and this time we are heading straight into the final chapter of Cal Kestis' journey. EA themselves have confirmed it's part of their upcoming release slate, calling it the conclusion of Cal Kestis trilogy, a proper finale with no cliffhanger endings this time. This is it, the send-off, the closure fans have been waiting for since 2019. Now, before we get into the story theories and release dates, let's rewind a bit. The most direct confirmation came straight from Cal himself, or more precisely, Cameron Monaghan, the actor behind him. During a fan panel last year, Cameron said, "We are working on the third game and we are in the process of doing it right now." You could see the excitement in his face. He didn't even try to hide it. He followed up by saying he hopes they'll make something really cool for us. And right there, that was it. The confirmation fans have been waiting for. No leaks, no vague hints, no anonymous insiders, just the man saying it plainly. Of course, things haven't been completely smooth behind the scenes. Respawn Entertainment has gone through some pretty significant changes since Jedi Survivor. Stig Asmussen, the director who led both Fallen Order and Survivor, left the studio in 2023. When that news hit, people were worried. You can't really blame them. Stig Asmussen was a creative powerhouse, and he was a big reason those first two games hit so hard. But EA quickly stepped up to calm the storm. They confirmed that while Stig was gone, the core team, the same developers, designers and writers who built the Jedi series from the ground up, were still there, still leading, still driving the project forward. According to multiple internal reports and job listings, Jedi 3 remains one of EA's top priorities. Even through layoffs and restructuring earlier these years, the Star Wars Jedi team was untouched. That tells you everything you need to know. EA knows what they've got there. The first two games were commercial and critical success, and this trilogy is their crown jewel. They are not about to mess it up. Now let's talk timelines, because if you are hoping to play Jedi 3 next year, I've got to set expectations straight. You are going to be waiting a bit. Based on how Respawn operated before, each entry took roughly 4 years to develop. Fallen Order launched in 2019, Survival in 2023, so naturally a 2027 or 2028 release window makes perfect sense. That lines up perfectly with what multiple insiders have hinted at, and honestly, that's not a big thing. Great games take time, and if we are talking about wrapping up Cal Kestis' entire arc, the studio deserves that breathing room. And here's something exciting. Respawn is moving the series to Unreal Engine 5. That's right, the Jedi finale is being built on the same next-gen tech that's powering some of the biggest games in the world right now. Unreal Engine 4 served the series well, but Unreal Engine 5 means sharper visuals, better lighting, vastly improved character models, and more detailed, seamless worlds. Respawn is already hiring engineers with Unreal Engine 5 expertise specifically for this project, which means they're going all in. Expect dense living planets. Expect a galaxy that finally feels alive on a scale that truly does justice to Star Wars. But the time Jedi 3 releases will probably be at the tail end of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X era, maybe even crossing into the PlayStation 6 and whatever the next Xbox ends up being. That means Jedi 3 might actually serve as a launch showcase for the new hardware. A true next-gen Star Wars experience. Imagine playing Cal's final battle on a brand new console, running Unreal Engine 5 at full power. If Respawn pulls this off, this could easily become one of the most visually stunning Star Wars games ever made. So yeah, 2027 sounds far away, but it's the perfect timeline to build something truly ambitious. And if we follow Respawn's usual marketing cycle, we might see the first teaser around early 2026. Maybe just a logo, maybe Cal's voice whispering something cryptic. Then, by late 2026, we'll get the real gameplay trailer, the one that sets the tone for everything that's coming. Now let's shift from production to story, because this is where the fan theories start going wild. If you haven't finished Jedi Survivor yet, consider this your spoiler alert. At the end of Survivor, Cal and Merrin barely make it out alive. They've lost friends, faced betrayal, and somehow managed to survive the Empire's relentless pursuit. In one of the most emotional turns, they take in a young girl, the daughter of Cal's former ally turned enemy, and head off together to find a safe place to live. It's the closest thing to piece we've ever seen for Cal. So the big question is, where do we go from here? Most fans believe Jedi 3 will open with Cal, Merrin and the child settled on Thanalor, the hidden planet introduced in Survivor, a place that was shielded from Imperial scanners. That world was teased as a potential refuge for surviving Jedi, and many believe Cal will finally fulfill his mentor's vision by building a new Jedi enclave. Picture this: Cal Kestis, the haunted Padawan, now a mentor, training a new generation in secrecy. The cycle completes itself. But of course, this is Star Wars. The peace never lasts long. By this point in the timeline, we are only about 9 years away from a new hope. The rebellion is starting to simmer beneath the surface. That means the events of Jedi 3 are likely to overlap with the early days of the rebel movement. Cal might find himself drawn into the fight against the Empire more directly than ever before. There's even an Easter egg at the end of Survivor. A Star Destroyer appears in the sky above Kobo after you've beaten the game. A clear warning that the Empire knows where he is and that his days of hiding are numbered. Fans think that Jedi 3 could see Cal and Merrin go on the offensive, helping rebellions, protecting refugees, and striking back at the Empire in ways we haven't seen from him before. And then there's Cal's dark side. In Survivor, he briefly uses Force Lightning, a movement that shocked a lot of players. That sense wasn't just a cool visual, it was a tease of what's to come. The next game will almost certainly push that internal conflict further. How far is Cal willing to go to protect the people he loves? How much darkness can he touch before he can't come back? This theme, that temptation to use forbidden power for good reasons, feels like it's going to be the heart of this final chapter, and it's one of the reasons fans are so excited. Now, who's going to stand against him? That's where things get really interesting. Each Jedi game so far has given us a villain with a personal tie to Cal. Trilla in Fallen Order, Bode in Survivor, and fans are betting that pattern will continue. Many theorize that the final antagonist will be another fallen Jedi or an Inquisitor with a past linked to Cal's training. And then of course, there's the big one, Darth Vader. Could Vader return for a final showdown? It's possible. We know he's active in this timeline, still personally hunting down surviving Jedi, and fans have been begging for a rematch after seeing Cal barely scrape Vader's breath in the first game. Some theorize the two might cross paths again, culminating in a duel where Cal makes the ultimate sacrifice to save others, a final act that cements his place in the Star Wars mythos. Others believe Respawn might avoid that route entirely, choosing a more original villain, maybe a new Inquisitor or even an ancient Force user from the High Republic era. Either way, the stakes are going to be higher than ever. And speaking of stakes, what about Cal's fate? This question divides the community more than anything else. If Cal survives by the end of Jedi 3, then why don't we see him in the original films? Where is he when Luke Skywalker rises? Those questions imply he might not make it out alive. Many fans believe the ending will be bittersweet, Cal sacrificing himself to protect his family and ensure the next generation of Jedi can live on. Others believe he'll survive, but go into deep hiding, possibly reappearing later in other media, which brings us to a very exciting possibility: Cal Kestis in live action. Because let's be honest, the character has already crossed that bridge. He's not just a digital creation, he's played by a real actor, Cameron Monaghan, who looks exactly like his in-game self. He's already Star Wars canon. It almost feels inevitable that we'll see him outside the games at some point. Rumors have circulated that Lucasfilm and Disney have talked about a Cal Kestis live action series or cameo, possibly in the Obi-Wan Kenobi timeline, which matches up almost perfectly with where Cal is during these events. Just imagine it, Obi-Wan and Cal crossing paths, two Jedi in hiding, each carrying the weight of their past. It would be one of those moments that instantly break the internet. Or picture an older Cal showing up in the Mandalorian era, a seasoned Jedi mentor scarred by decades of conflict, but still standing. He's the perfect bridge between eras, and since he's already canon and already portrayed by a Hollywood actor, there's almost no reason not to bring him in. At the end of the day, Star Wars Jedi 3 represents more than just the final chapter of our beloved series. It's the culmination of a new era of Star Wars storytelling. Respawn took a massive risk when they introduced a brand new Jedi character in 2019, and against all odds, Cal Kestis became one of the most respected modern Star Wars protagonists. Fans see him as a symbol of what Star Wars can be when it goes beyond the Skywalker family and tells fresh, character-driven stories with real emotion and stake. So, as Respawn on gearing up to wrap this trilogy. There's a lot of hope in the air, hope that they'll end this story the way it deserves to be told, and if the past is any indicator, they probably will. The team has already proven they can balance heart-pounding combat, intimate storytelling, and faithful Star Wars world building like no other. If they pull this off, Star Wars Jedi 3 won't be just an end of Cal Kestis' journey, it could become one of the most defining Star Wars games of our generation. So buckle up, because the Force is strong with this one, and Respawn is about to prove it one last time. Thanks for watching. For more updates on Star Wars Jedi 3 or other gaming content, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Until then, stay safe.